Hey everybody, this is Bradley Benner with Lead Gadget, and this is training webinar number 2, or week number 2, and I'm running solo tonight, and that's okay because I've got some stuff I want to go over, some bullet points about some of the new offers, as well as kind of a follow-up to last week with the Pizzazz site. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight and go over a few different things and then kind of set the stage for next week as well, because as the offers start to roll in, we're going to have more things to promote. So I kind of want to just go over a few things with you guys tonight and then take some questions if we have some time for that, which I think we will. So just welcome everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and take the screen for a minute and just look at these bullet points so that we can see what's coming up for the night. And so this is week number 2, Lead Gadget webinar. Tonight we're going to cover offers. We're going to talk about that for about 10 or 15 minutes. Then we're going to talk about site cleanup because we didn't really cover that last week. Remember, we kind of deployed a site last week without logging into the back end. And I made some changes, which I'll discuss when we get to that part. And then we're actually going to go in and do a cleanup as well, a live cleanup. And we're going to talk about some additional plugins, some stuff that I'm using currently. Banners. I know we had a question about that inside the Facebook group. And we're going to talk about banners with the offers anyways. So there's a plugin that I'm using that, and there's many of them out there that we can use to rotate banners and that sort of thing. Indexing, I know that that's a question that seems to keep coming up a lot. So I'm going to show you guys what it is that I do, and we'll talk about that a little bit. And then analytics and what I do for that as well. So don't have a whole lot of formal slides here. We don't really need them. I just want to kind of go through this as we can. And I'll obviously be answering questions near the end if you guys can wait till then. And I'll try to answer what I can. All right. So with that said, let me take the screen and we're going to talk about the new offer that was released for the Detox Center. And that's really cool. So let me grab the screen and take it for the entire screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. And this is exciting, guys. So I'm inside the Lead Gadget publisher dashboard, and Detox, which pays $40 per conversion, I believe. And it's got the creatives already loaded. And guys, this is a pay per call offer. Okay, so this is an offer that we don't need an affiliate link. The system will give you an affiliate link. Excuse me. But you don't need it because it's a pay per call offer. And they've got the creatives already loaded in here, which is great because I find that to be one of the more difficult things for me is getting doing creatives and getting them because I'm not a very graphics type of person. So they're all here. And just go in here and, right click, save image as, and then upload it to S3. And then you can use that for to host right on your site. Okay. And then obviously you guys have to get some sort of tracking phone numbers to be able to forward the phone numbers to the numbers you see here on the banners so that you can track them as well. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a great offer. And I was doing some initial keyword research too. And so I do want to talk about this, guys. Like I haven't built a site out for this because this is a new offer, but I'm going to. I've got the domain. I bought a couple different domains today. I've got the content ordered, and I'm going to be doing a site build for this offer between now and next week as well, the next webinar. And I'll do the same thing that I've done for the previous 2 site builds that I've shared with you guys. And that's recorded as I go and kind of show you, I'll just put it in a playlist and share it with you guys so you have that to see what I'm doing for that. And I know some of you are more veteran builders that it's probably remedial what I'm showing you, but don't worry about it. Some of you will benefit from it. All right. And so we'll talk about that as well. I'll be sharing that throughout the next week as I build it and just give you guys the replays of those, the videos of those. And I also did some initial keyword research here. Didn't go real in depth. We're going to actually cover a little bit of keyword research now, guys, because I want you to remember, you're going to need the domain, you're going to need content. And before you can really order the content, you're going to want to do some keyword research. And plus, you're going to want to try to figure out your own targeting, right? So I kind of wanted to go over keyword research a little bit with you guys and show you the process very quickly. We're going to do this briefly, the kind of process that I use to find keywords, okay? And maybe introduce you to some tools that you had not used in the past. One of which is Google Trends, and we're going to talk about that now. But here are some seed keywords that I pulled back, and I just want to show you about how I found these, okay? So there's a site called Google Trends. I don't know if many of you have used this, but I use this site all the time. I'm going to post this link right here. I thought we would be assigned a phone number. Maybe so, Tony. I'll have to check with that. I'm used to running paper calls, so offers where I get my own phone number and just forward to whatever numbers on the creatives. So I may be wrong about that, Tony. I'll let you know as soon as I find out. Okay, we'll put it in the Facebook group when I'm done. But yeah, they might assign phone numbers. I'm not sure. I'll have to check into that. Again, this is a new offer, guys, so I don't know all of the details of it yet, but I know that I'm ready to promote it because it's a good offer, you know. So, okay, so coming back over here to Google Trends, I just pasted that inside the events page. In this tool right here, you can start narrowing down by geography, and also it will show related keywords and such. So we're going to walk through this kind of quickly. I'm going to put drug treatment center in as my keyword, my seed keyword, and hit the search button. And you'll see, guys, that this is showing worldwide results right now up in the top bar here. Okay, and what's cool about this tool is you can actually put up to 5 keywords side by side, which will show a comparison. And we're going to start narrowing or targeting here in a minute. So I'll just show you, like, I got drug rehab or treatment center in. Let me go ahead and put in drug rehab. And we'll do drug treatment. Drug addiction treatment. You can see the difference in search interest based on they compare them. You see that? And so, like, looks like so far the biggest one is just drug treatment. All right, so I'll just use those 4 keywords for now, and we'll just run with that because I don't want to get too in depth with this anyways. You guys can play with this tool, but right now we have it, the targeting set is worldwide. I would want to obviously narrow that down to United States. And you can go deeper than that. You can go into on a state-by-state level, or even a metro or metropolitan regional area, and even all the way down to specific cities. But what I like to do, especially with Lead Gadget, right, is we have the ability to build nationwide sites, is I like to target by the United States. And you can see that this is going to show the different keywords, and these are going to show the top 10 cities or sub-regions, which are, in this case, states. And you can go down even deeper, but it'll show the top 10 cities that have the highest search interest, okay? And what that means is this is not giving us like the keyword planner does, which we'll get to briefly in a moment. I'm sure everyone knows how to use a keyword planner, so we're not going to spend much time on that at all. But this will give us like the states that have the highest amount of searches based on their population. So the highest percentage of search interest based on their population, if that makes sense, okay? And you can see that the 4 different keywords that we have listed at the top are right here, so we can check to see what the different hotspots are. And again, this is on like a state level. If I go to metro level, that's going to give us on a basically a metropolitan area. So you'll see Los Angeles and New York for drug addiction treatment. Drug treatment we'll see on a metro level. This is going to give us like Baltimore, Maryland. That's kind of close to me. That's one of the, it looks like for drug treatment, that's a pretty hot spot. So guys, you can see, you can start narrowing down, like you can start pinpointing the areas that you're going to probably have the most success or the highest likelihood of, generating phone volume. Not to say that you wouldn't try everywhere anyways. I'm just saying this is where you can do some research. Drug rehab, again, we'll go to Metro. West Palm Beach. I noticed when I was doing keyword research, Florida came up a lot with these keywords. So I'm assuming that's probably a pretty hot area for drug rehab centers. And then lastly, we'll look at drug treatment centers, and you'll see the same thing over here. And then, guys, we can go all the way down to city level. Okay, so you can, if you go to, excuse me, down to city level, you can get very specific. So you can play with that. The other thing that's cool about this is you can, it can return related keywords, which is where I got some of these. Okay, because it'll give you related keywords based on when you're on the, by default, it's on the top tab. And what that means is historically, if you take a look at the amount, the trends here, the trends data is as a 10-year span. So the top terms that it's showing down here are related terms based on the seed term, which is up here. Each one of these are a different seed. And this is historical data. So these are the top related keywords based over the last 10-year period related to this seed keyword, if that makes sense, okay? And then if you click on Rising, what's cool about Rising is it'll show terms that have had a significant increase in search interest or search queries since the last time they had updated the data, which is about every 30 days. And so sometimes you can find keywords in here that don't have any historical data, but they're trending. And that's why they call it trends. And you can get ahead of a curve before a bunch of other SEOs do, and like get out in front of it and make, basically get a lot of the traffic from it. Okay. So that's it. If you go to look at each one of them, guys, you can start pulling out additional terms that would make sense to you. And you'll see, but again, checking on the rising terms, I like to find a lot of my stuff in the rising. If it says breakout, it means it's had a significant increase of over 500% increase in search volume since the previous month. So like addiction treatment centers, that's a really long tail term, guys. Think about that. That's a really long tail term that you could, with geographic modifiers included, like the city names and that sort of thing, you could probably rank for those, relatively easily. Okay, so I haven't done a whole lot of competition research in this niche just yet, but I will be doing that over the next week. So there are some seed keywords for you. You can go over to the Google Keyword Planner, do the same thing. You can put your seed keyword set in if you want, or just go with a couple of them. I typically just go with a few. Paste them in. I've got my targeting set for United States. Click Get Ideas. Here's something else, guys, that you can use to find additional keywords, is look in ad groups ideas, because these are basically groups of keywords that Google deems are related, and they put them in the groups for you. So for example, addiction centers, if we click on that, you'll see that there's a bunch of related keywords, and some of these get to be very long tail. Okay. And so remember, going after the longer tail stuff is going to make it a hell of a lot easier for us to get ranked, which means our likelihood of getting phone calls is better, right? So just think about that. And look at the pay-per-click on some of these. That's crazy. Treatment centers, drug addiction, $90 a click. That's nuts. So that must be why they're paying $40 per phone call, per converted phone call. So that's, it's a high dollar niche for sure. So you guys just go through here, start looking through some of these ad group ideas. I know everybody always just jumps over to the keyword ideas, but guys, there are keyword groups or sets in here, phrases that sometimes don't even show in keyword ideas because they're longer tail. And some of these are gold because they're untouched. Okay, or there's not a lot of competition, not a lot of SEO competition. Remember, the competition level you're seeing in this column here, that's for people bidding on AdWords for pay-per-click. So if you're looking at SEO, that doesn't necessarily mean high SEO competition. Usually they are, but that doesn't always necessarily mean that. Don't let that scare you, is what I'm saying. All right, so you guys understand how to go through the keyword planner, I'm sure. I just wanted to kind of point that out. Lastly, there's a tool that one of the members of this group as well, Braulio, he pointed this out to me a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, and this is called keywordtool.io. It's free, and this does Google Suggest and YouTube Suggest and Bing Suggest. So you can actually put your seed keyword in here and tell it to search, and it will scrape based on that as a keyword. And suggest keywords are great, guys, because they have to have traffic and people manually searching for them to even appear in suggest. So a lot of times you can get keywords in here that don't have historical data either. So it's kind of like what you'll find in the rising section of the Google Trends tool. Okay, so if you take a look at this, you can see a lot of geographic modifiers right here, right? Statewide terms. There's drug treatment centers in Baltimore. We just saw that a minute ago inside of Trends, remember? So drug treatment center near me. You could do that and then put the geographic modifier after that. So drug treatment center near me, Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland zip codes. You guys get that? There's real long tail terms that will probably, especially if you put the geographic modifier in. You guys, if you're using zip codes and stuff too, which I encourage you to do, it will show up in mobile search too for people that are mobile search. If you have zip codes in your content, not all over the place. You just need it once or twice, but it'll help it to show up in mobile search, just so you know. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of go over some keyword research, guys. I hope that was helpful. Let's see. Ganti says, is the offer open in all states? Any state restrictions, any time restrictions? Is it pay-per-call? As it is pay-per-call, thank you. I don't know. That's a great question. Again, guys, I don't know the answers to a lot of these questions just yet, but we will find out over the next couple of days for sure, right? Because this is a brand new offer to us. So I'm still learning about it too, but I'm very interested in promoting this offer because at $40 per conversion, that's significant. That's good money. So I'm excited about promoting this. So I guarantee you, promise you, Ganti, that I will find out the answer to these questions. And as I'm building my site out and recording the training videos, I'll post in the Facebook group as well, but I'll also talk about them during the training videos that I'm recording. Okay. I'll make sure that I get these questions answered for you guys. All right. So with that said, I'm going to move on. I think we kind of talked about that. The offers, the other offer with the Pizzazz jewelry stuff, I know we did kind of a site build out last week, and I had just linked directly to the offer site, the Pizzazz jewelry site, instead of using an affiliate link. And I wanted to talk about that briefly because I was hoping that there was a way that we could append a tracking code to the individual links, but we can't, at least not yet. So the only thing we can do is link to the home, the homepage, or use the overlayer plugin. But I want to show you guys when we start the site cleanup here in a minute. Let's see. Are the A-Team sites mobile friendly? We're going to get to that, Donald. We're going to talk about that tonight. Okay. I'm going to show you how to make them mobile friendly very, very easily. Okay. So we will talk about that for sure. Anyways, I want to show you guys what I did with the wholesale whatever site that I built last week, because I also had found out that I was having trouble getting that site indexed on the .pw domain because it's like a country level domain, so it wasn't. I was having a hard time getting it indexed, so I just moved it to a .us domain, which will make it, that'll definitely index. I'm not worried about that. So we're going to walk through that. Let me come over here and show. That's not the one I wanted to show. Let me show the one that I wanted to. This is the one that I did in the training example, guys, the other day, the last playlist that I created. And this is just a good example of banners that you can show up. Plus the YouTube stuff, guys, that is just awesome that we're able to do that now, because we can add YouTube widgets, or not widgets, but short codes with YouTube video or links, URL spun, and then just wrap it in that Viper's video quick tags. And we'll talk about that too, because I got some plugins I'm going to share with you guys here in just a minute. But this was the one that I did the other day. So let me get into the site that I just moved. Let's see. Wholesale.fashionbling.us. That's the one I switched it to. I switched it from mybling.pw to fashionbling.us. And I have not even logged into this site yet. In fact, if I click on any one of these, you'll see that 404 error, which means I have not even set up permalinks yet. So I want to take the next few minutes to just kind of run through a site cleanup and what we're going to do and what I do to clean up the site and prepare it for indexing and everything else. So let me get logged in real quick. And so I rebuilt the site. I just bombed it from the other domain and added it and then rebuilt it after changing the content slightly because of the links that I had before. Remember, before I had spun for diversity, and it would have been nice if we could have kept the spun links going to different pages on that site for diversity's sake, but unfortunately it's not. There's no way to track it, and the only thing that we could do at that point would be to use the WP overlayer, which is fine in some cases, but I'm not. I'd rather not do that if possible. And again, it's just my own personal preference. So anyways, once we're inside the dashboard here, there's a couple things that I like to just get out of the way just because I think it's a little bit too messy. And then we're going to go straight to settings and permalinks. And guys, the way that I build my sites is I like to try to give it a semi-silo structure. It's not a silo structure, but so I like to do category post name. You guys can do what you like. This is just how I always do it. And soon Dawn says that there's going to be the ability to add some silo structure to these sites, and I just can't wait for that. I'm really super excited about that. So when we get to that point, we'll talk about that. I'm really happy to do some training on that because I'm looking forward to it. So now if we go check on this just to make sure it's working, just click on any one of the post URLs, and I should see that now I've got the state is showing up in the URL there, and that's what I want, okay, because that was the category I used was full state. And now what I want to show you guys is if you take a look, I had edited this content. So before I had a short code that was my Pizzazz target URLs short code. If you guys remember from last week, essentially all I had done was I'd gone to the Pizzazz site and I'd scraped like all the different page URLs, and there was like 97 of them, and I spun them together and created a short code out of it, and then that's what I put in the HTML code for the image and the link. Okay. And I was hoping, you know, it made it very diverse or very unique because every image would have a different random URL from those 97. And I was hoping we could keep it like that, but unfortunately we weren't able to. So the next thing I did was I went and I grabbed my affiliate link, and I could have just pasted my affiliate link in there, but then anybody hovering over the image, which is now a clickable link, would see the affiliate link. And I don't like that. Okay. So instead we cloaked the link, right? And so since it's a brand new site build and I haven't had a chance to put any plugins on here yet, I just went ahead and created what my cloaking link will be, and I'll have to put a redirect plugin on the site. So we're going to talk about that. But if you look in the bottom left corner, you'll see that the image URL for this is wholesale.fashionbling.us/buy, B-U-I. Okay, and if I click on that now, it should take us to a 404 page because it's not that link isn't hopped. It's not a hop link going anywhere right now, right? It doesn't exist. There's no page on the site. But we're going to fix that by putting a plugin on. And really all that plugin is going to do is just redirect to my affiliate link, okay, which obviously will take them to the Pizzazz site. All right. So I just wanted to show you what I did there. Let me take a look at these notes. Whoops. Let's see. Okay, so some of the one of the questions that was just asked about mobile friendly, I wanted to talk about that. So I actually had this prepared in my notes. That's why I thought it was a great question. You guys know that on April 21st, Google's going to start pulling sites out of the mobile index, or at least devaluing them that are not mobile friendly. And this is just for the mobile index, right? It's not going to affect desktop search, but you're going to want, let's see. That is 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and it will convert. That's great, Tony, to hear that. The call must be from, I'm sorry, guys. I got sidetracked reading these questions. Anyways, who was asking about the mobile site? So the ATM site's mobile friendly. That was Donald Hall. Yeah, Donald. And see, I actually had this ready because I know that Google is on April 21st, they're going to stop or start devaluing sites that are not mobile friendly, okay, from the mobile search. Okay, well, you know, a fair amount of traffic, depending on the niche, but a fair amount of traffic comes from mobile search now. So you certainly don't want to lose potential traffic just because a site is not friendly. And if you take a look, this is and I meant to post this on the page just a second ago, and I got sidetracked reading a comment. Let me post this link in here, guys. This is the mobile friendly tester tool from Google themselves. So I just posted on the events page, and all you got to do is grab your URL of your site, copy it, and paste it in and hit the test button or analyze button, and it'll take, you know, 30 to 45 seconds. Other themes or sites, it's going to take longer. This one's pretty quick. This one's saying it's actually mobile friendly, which I find that hard to believe. I'm still going to show you what, because it, as a matter of fact, I had already done this with several of my other ATM sites and they showed as not mobile friendly. So I'm curious why it's showing that. But I found an easy fix for it, guys. If you find that it's not showing, and I'm surprised that it showed this because it hasn't on the other sites. But anyways, there's a plugin. It's pretty standard when you normally install WordPress, like on WordPress.com. Jetpack, right? The Jetpack plugin. If we go back inside and let's go see, I don't think it was installed by default, was it? I don't think it was. I've been installing it, but it's weird. The ATM or the Lead Gadget sites, it acts a little bit funny when you install Jetpack. You'll see what I mean because I'm going to go install it now. So plugins, add new. And Jetpack is right here on the add new screen. See that? You don't even have to search for it. You just click install now. Click OK. Activate. And you're going to need a WordPress.com site, or I'm sorry, login in order to connect Jetpack. You have to connect and authorize it with it. And you see, this is what I was talking about, how it acts weird, guys. It just installed, but it says destination folder already exists, plugin install failed. And you can see it's here now. It didn't show a minute ago in the plugins, remember? But now it's saying it failed, but it's right here. So don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that. Just go back. That's why I said it's a little bit weird. And before we get a bunch of questions about, hey, it failed, it didn't work, it did work. It's right here. So let's click on Jetpack, and it's going to say connect to WordPress.com. So you need to have an account there. If you don't, it's going to take you to the screen where you can create one anyways. Okay. So we're going to walk through this. I might have to pause the screen for a moment while I grab login details for this Persona account that I'm using. No, apparently I'm still logged into that account. I'm using a Personas account that I had set up WordPress.com on anyways. So I'm already logged in, guys. Just follow the on-screen prompts. If you do not have a WordPress.com account, just follow the on-screen prompts for creating one. Okay. So I'm going to authorize Jetpack. Now you watch. This is going to take a couple seconds to read, and then it's going to give me a Cloudflare error message. But again, don't worry about it. Just wait for it to finish. See how it says giving me a Cloudflare error message? Don't worry about it. Just click on retry for a live version. It'll take another second to reload, and then it will be activated. And I know that even though I just showed that, we're still going to get Facebook posts saying that it didn't work. So, and I'm going to point you to this video when you complain about it. Okay. Anyways, once you've done that, the Jetpack, this is the dashboard, guys. You see this right here, mobile theme. You click activate, guys. This is, by the way, this is a hack that you can do for like a lot of sites that you guys have. Just install Jetpack and click this mobile theme activate button. I'm not sure that it works on every site, but it works on a lot of them, and it will make it pass the mobile friendly test. Okay. Very quick hack. In fact, a colleague of mine told me about this, and I have gone out and contacted all of my SEO clients, my local business clients, and sold them on fixing their site, because I just sent them to the Google, this page right here, and told them go check your site. And I also sent them a screenshot for those of them where it shows that it failed. For those of them that that don't actually take the time to test it themselves. And then I tell them, hey, for $250, I can fix it. And I got a lot of work this week just for installing Jetpack and clicking the button. And that's it. So just so you guys know, that's a quick way to make some quick money too. And if you got a bunch of your own sites, just install that and fix it. And now, again, I don't know why this was showing that it was already mobile friendly, because I've had it fail multiple times before adding Jetpack. But now that I've added Jetpack and analyzed it, it should come back as okay. Well, we'll give it a minute just to double check it. But that's a real quick hack, guys. See, and it's showing that it is now indeed mobile friendly. And I know it said that before, but I'm not sure why, because it generally has not. So anyways, that said, that's a very quick, easy fix, guys. It also, there's a lot of other really cool features that Jetpack now has. I haven't used Jetpack in forever until this mobile hack that we just implemented. And I just realized that there's a lot of really cool features that I need to play with, because I might start using this plugin on everything anyways. All right, the next thing is there is the cache plugin, which is installed already, which is Quick Cache. But Quick Cache has now been deprecated, guys. It is now what's called Zen Cache. So if you activate this, you'll see the warning message. And so I just go ahead and delete this now. And if I'm wrong for doing this, I'm sure Don and Brian will let me know. But as far as I know, I've just been upgrading to the Zen Cache, which is also free. It's by the same developers. I think they just rebranded it or whatever. So I'm deleting that file. And we're going to install Zen Cache. It's right here. Click install. Okay. Activate. We're going to run through a few other plugins as well, guys. Hopefully it won't take too long to load, but we're going to talk about WP Editor, another plugin I use called Bounce Rate, which is helps to keep the bounce rate down. Viper's video tags, which we talked about in the last video series that I did, which is how you can wrap and add the YouTube videos. We'll talk about that briefly. Easy Ads widget, Mex Easy Ads widget. Somebody asked about that. It's great for like rotating banners and stuff, and we'll put that on very quickly. And then Pretty Link. Pretty Link is a plugin that we can use as like an affiliate cloak. It's just a redirect. So we'll use that as well. All right, so now that Zencash is installed, I just want to make sure that I activate it. So I'm just going to click on the Zencash icon over here. Click yes, enable, save all changes. Okay, now that's done. Now there's another plugin, like I said, that I like to add. It just makes editing code a little bit easier, and you'll see why in just a moment. But I'm going to go to plugins, add new, and install WP Editor. It's a free plugin. It just makes it easier. It makes the editor files, like the theme editors and things like that, look like a Notepad plus file. And I find that easier when I'm like adding code to the header and things like that. And you'll see why we're going to do that in a minute, but I'm just going to install that very quickly. It's called WP Editor. By the way, guys, I will put notes for all of these in with the replay. Okay, so you'll have access to all this. So come on, it's responding slow right now. And for indexing, guys, I use analytics. And I mentioned in the group that I use analytics. I know that Donald and them like to use Piwik, and that's fine. Use what you like. I've always used analytics. I just don't recommend you put more than a few sites, a handful of sites, no more than 5. And I wouldn't put 5 of the same niche in the same analytics account. And I've got like literally hundreds of persona accounts. So I just select a new Google account and assign 2 or 3 sites to it, and then I'm good. Okay. So that's what I'm going to show you guys tonight. But anyways, WP Editor, if you want to edit this or change the settings in here to where, you can do whatever you want. You can play with this if you want. But anyways, right there is the WP Editor options. When you click on that, it'll bring you to the options screen. We don't need to go through that. You can play with that on your own. But the thing that I like to do here is for indexing purposes, guys, I like to add my site to Webmaster Tools. So here I am at the Webmaster Tools for the persona that I'm, Kimberly Webb is her name. And I want to go ahead and click and add new site. I'm going to grab the URL, the home URL, go to Webmaster Tools, paste it in, continue. It's going to ask me to authorize or verify that I own it. I just go to alternate methods, click on HTML tag, copy this tag, and then come back over to my WordPress install, go to appearance, and now instead of it saying editor here, it says theme editor. Okay, and if we click on that, I mean, you can do this without the WP editor, guys. It just makes it a little bit easier to work in the header files because this looks different than what it would normally. Okay, so I scroll down and go to my header.php file right here. I know that there's probably in the all-in-one SEO plugin, there's probably a place that you can add this code there too, guys, but I always just like to hard code this in. So right before my closing head tag, when I paste it in, update files, it says it's been saved, go back to Webmaster Tools, click verify, and I should get the green arrow, the green check mark, I mean. All right, so congratulations, continue. Now, once we're here, the thing is you can set like your targeting, country-specific targeting. If you've got like a .com, .net, I'm using a .us, so it's automatically going to select the United States. But you can set that. It will prompt you with site messages. You'll get a site message which will prompt you to set that kind of stuff. But what's important here, and this is what I want to talk about, is sitemaps. Is you want to make sure that you submit your sitemap. This will help it to index, guys. Trust me, this will help a whole lot. So I'm going to go to BWP Sitemaps, click on XML Sitemaps. We're going to go ahead and generate the sitemap, and I'm going to show you what I do. We're not going to go through the whole thing because it'll take too long. But if you click on sitemap index, I like to disable the taxonomy. I just like in submitting the post sitemaps, guys. The tags will end up getting indexed anyways. You'll notice that. But for sake of speed, I did not use zip codes in this site build, so it's about 30,100 posts is about what this is. If I use zip codes, it ends up being about 42,000 posts. So you end up getting 9 parts to the post sitemaps. But essentially, you can just take the sitemap index here and copy this and see. This is what I was going to say is you can add the sitemap here, paste it in, and click submit sitemap, refresh page. What I found with that though is that the sitemap index will give us error codes, and it's because of the taxonomy and or the site, which you can disable those inside the settings. Okay, you can see that right here. You can uncheck site address if you want. You can uncheck taxonomy. Right now it's probably cached, and that's why it's still showing it. If you want to clear your cache, come down here to where it says enable caching, uncheck it, set that to 0, click save changes. It might clear its cache, and then you can come back and refresh, and possibly those will be gone. You might have to hit Control F5, and then you can go back and set it to cache with the new version, if that makes sense. See how you see how I got rid of that, guys? Okay. So now I can go back and turn that back on. You want to turn that on, by the way. You can have it set to ping search engines, but you don't need to, because unless you're adding new pages, it's not going to ping them anyways. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set that back and click Save Changes. And then what I do, guys, is I actually do, I submit each one of these parts, these partial sitemaps. I submit each one of them individually. It takes an extra couple minutes because each one of them has to generate. So for example, I'll just right click, open link, a new tab on every one of them and just let them all start to load, because it'll take a few minutes for them to generate each one. But I just open them all up, and once they're all open, I just go in and I grab past the first / copy, go to Webmaster Tools, add sitemap, paste, click submit sitemap. Since it's not generated yet, it might give us an error message, but usually it's going to say pending anyways. And that's what I do. I submit all of them. I've been doing that forever. It's just an extra couple steps, but it seems to work better than just the index, in my opinion. All right, so now that we've done that, if we would have had all 7 sitemaps here, parts, plus the index. If I was going to leave that, I might end up getting rid of that. But the next thing I want to talk about is it's getting this to index very quickly, guys. I know we can use the promote button inside the ATM, and I recommend doing that as well once you've got your site cleaned up. But also, from right here underneath the crawl drop down where sitemaps is, you see where it says Fetch as Google? Click that button. Okay, click on Fetch as Google, and when it brings this page up, just click Fetch and Render. Okay, it'll take a minute for it to read. It says pending. And then I'm going to show you something that's really, really cool that will help your site to get indexed a hell of a lot faster. Okay, so let's just give that a second. Okay, you see how it comes back with the status and the check mark? It says partial. If you click on that, it'll open up the next screen where it'll show you why it's saying only partial. And what's interesting is it's the Google Maps code that it says it can't read. Okay, and that's using the default theme with the ATM. If you're using other types of themes, sometimes you'll get other things down here, other scripts that it can't read. But you can actually go in your robots.txt and say it to allow, and that sort of thing, and fix it. I'm not going to get into all that because the default theme doesn't have that. The only thing it's saying it can't read is Google Maps, which is interesting, right? But don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about that. You see this button here where it says Submit to Index? You click that, and then where it says Choose Submit Method, it's crawl this URL only, which was the home page, right? Or crawl this URL and all of its direct links. See that? Well, remember, on the home page of the site, and it's saying offline, but let's just go here. Timed out on us. If we go back to the home page, guys, remember in the right-hand sidebar, we've got the categories, right? The list of the categories, which is the U.S. states. So if we click on the Submit to Index with all links, all of its direct links, it's essentially going to crawl all of this. Okay, see that? So if you click go, now it's been URL and linked pages submitted to index. You see that? This is going to help your site to get indexed a hell of a lot faster. All right, let me check the screen real quick. Andrea, should we be creating our sites under a persona? Well, I wouldn't put them all under your own account, Andrea. I certainly wouldn't do that, especially if you're submitting to Google. If you're going to be adding them to Webmaster Tools and Analytics, which again, guys, your choice if you want to or not. I'm just telling you what I do. And I've got, and Andrea, we've got dozens and even hundreds of persona profiles, so why not use them, What are the preferred themes for lead gen sites? There's a ton of them. It depends on what kind of lead gen you're doing. If you're doing local business lead gen, you can find a lot of them. I've got I use one a lot for my local SEO clients. That's called, it's by Inc Themes, called Local Business, by Inc Themes, INK Themes. And that one's really, really good for like contractors and stuff. So you can check that one out. And then there's also like CPA type themes. I haven't done a whole lot of that kind of work yet, although I'm getting into it because of Lead Gadget. And so I will let you know as I find some good themes for that. I'm sure there are some people in the group, Ganti, that can direct you to some recommendations. Okay. So anyways, guys, that's how I set up the indexing. There's a couple more plugins I want to run through, and I don't want to take up, we got about 20 more minutes. So let's try to run through these very, very quickly. I'm just going to close some of these tabs down. Okay, so one of the next ones is Analyticator. I like to use Google Analytics, guys, because that's how I find out which pages are ranking when I'm doing big sites like this, okay? Instead of loading in 43,000 keywords into a rank tracker that's going to cost me a couple grand a month, because, you know, tracking keywords can get very expensive very quickly. So it's just not feasible to do that. So what I like to do is add analytics. I know you can do it with Piwik as well. There's another one called Get Clicky. Get Clicky will do something similar as well, but I just always use Google Analytics because it's free. And honestly, I don't think of Google as the enemy personally, because I like to make money from Google. So I don't mind using their free stuff. I just try to keep everything separate. Okay. But anyways, I'm going to go to plugins and add new. And I like to use a plugin called Analyticator. I know you can hard code this in as well, but I like Analyticator because it puts the traffic widget right in the dashboard. And that's this one right here, Google Analyticator. Now you have to go set up an account for that, which is okay. Like here I'm on Google Analytics. I'm going to click Access Google Analytics, and I'm going to set up. I've got a parent account already set up for this, so I'm just going to add a new site to the parent account. You can see I've got LG Lead Gadget, right? Jewelry sites. So what I want to do is go over to Admin. I'm going to click on the drop down and click Create New Account, or I can actually just do. I should be able to just do Create New Property. Yeah, under Property, because I've got the parent account already. If you don't have a parent, like I would group all my jewelry sites under the parent jewelry sites parent category. Does that make sense? But again, I'm not going to put more than 2. Maybe might put 3 in here, and that's it. I don't want any more than that. So I'm going to click on Create New Property. I'm going to scroll down and call this one the Wholesale Bling site. I'm going to paste my URL in here. Get rid of the HTTP industry category. I'm going to shop down or scroll down and select shopping. I'm just going to leave the rest of that stuff and get tracking ID. Okay, so now my tracking ID is set. Now I can go back into my plugin. I want to click Activate on the Analyticator plugin. Come on. And there's a couple others that I want to talk about. What's good, we only got like 3 more left to talk about, so we should be good on time, and then I'll answer whatever questions are left, and then we'll wrap it up, guys. I want to keep it down to an hour if possible. And then, like I said, I'll definitely do some training on me setting up the pay-per-call site. I think that I'm looking forward to really promoting that. So anyways, Analyticator. If you go over here into settings, you'll see Google Analytics now that it's been activated. Okay, so right here, there's a click here button. You click that. If you're logged into the Google account already, which you should be, it's going to ask to authorize. You click accept. Then you're going to copy this code. You're going to close the window. You're going to close this window. And you're going to paste the code in here. Click save and continue. Now, once you're in here, the Google Analytics logging is disabled, but I'm going to click the drop down, make it go to enabled. Fashion Bling and Wholesale Bling. Those are the 2 sites. The one that I'm working on is Wholesale Bling. I like to hide my Google Analytics ID after saving. I come down here and I turn off track all logged in WordPress users. I don't want analytics tracking me when I'm logged in, right? And giving up skewing my results or my traffic reports. So I'm going to turn that to no. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says display ad. I like to turn that off. And I'm just going to click save changes. And that's it. Now analytics is enabled. And if I go back to the dashboard, you'll see, let me go ahead and rearrange these a little bit. That now I have my Google Analytics. I should have Jetpack too. Let me move that over there. You'll see that I have Google Analytics summary right here. So I can see just when I log into the site, a brief glance at my traffic report. It's right here in the dashboard. So that's why I like that, okay? Which leads me to the next plugin, guys, because I want to roll through this. But bounce rate, you know, bounce rate is a ranking factor. And so there's a lot of plugins out there that you can use that can help you to reduce bounce rate. There's some that are Black Hat. There's one that actually was just relaunched recently called Zero Bounce. And to be honest with you, that's a kind of a Black Hat bounce rate plugin, reduce bounce rate plugin, because like when somebody hits the back button, it can redirect to another page on the site or any page that you so wish, instead of taking them back to the Google search results. There's a lot of things that plugin will do, but that's a premium plugin. If you guys want to check it out, again, it's called Zero Bounce, but the one that I'm going to show today is free. And what it does is it adds, and it's called an event tracking script. At least that's what I've always called it, to the footer of the site, which will reduce the bounce rate, because it's going to count people that are on the page for like 6 seconds or more or something like that. I don't remember what the exact number is, but it's going to count them as a non-bounce, even if they do hit the back button, because they've passed that threshold of time, and it's Google code. So this is a white hat way to reduce bounce rate. And so I want to show you that as well. It's a free plugin as well. So I'm going to click on add new. And it is white hat because Google will give you the code yourself. If you just got to go find it. You got to dig through analytics stuff to find it. And it's probably more common knowledge than it used to be, but there's a plugin called bounce rate. It's a very simple plugin. Again, if you have the code, I typically would just install the code in my footer, just hard code it in. But if you want, this will do it for you. It's called bounce rate. Click install now. Oh, that was the wrong one. I'm sure this does the same thing, so I'm just going to click on it. I'll get if this isn't the right one, I don't remember it saying reduce bounce rate before it, but if this isn't the right one, I've got it downloaded on my desktop, so I just upload it, but I'll get the right URL, guys, and share it with you so that you use the same one that I use typically, but I'm sure this does the same thing. There's several of them that do this. And I can share just the direct code with you if you'd like. You just put it in your footer before the closing body tag. Reduce bounce rate. Yeah, this isn't the same exact one because the other one just says bounce rate. But again, I'm sure it does the exact same thing. Yeah, this is fine. So tracking code, code placement, footer recommended by default. It's already there. Scroll on page. Do you want to track page scrolls? You can just go through here and read some of these options. And right here, you can change maximum tracking time and all that kind of stuff. Just click Save Options, and once you're done, it's going to be activated and installed. And in fact, once this updates here, if we go refresh the home page, I'll show you where it's at. Let me just go ahead and F5 it, Control F5 it. So this does the exact same thing as what the other plugin does. It's just a different interface. So if we go to View Page Source and we scroll down to the bottom, since I'm logged in, it might be a little bit harder to see, but there should be a code down here in the footer of the site. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it, but it's in here, and that's essentially all it does is it just adds some code to the footer of the site. So again, guys, I'll just get the direct code and send it to you in the replay. Okay, so you'll have that as well. So a couple more plugins. The Vipers video tags. That's the one that I shared in the site build the other day. I can install that now, but since I don't have any videos on this site, it doesn't make sense to. Just know that. Let me open up another Notepad file real quick and increase the font size. You can, and when you're doing your build, you can create a shortcode. What I would suggest doing is going out and scraping, or getting a bunch of YouTube URLs with in the same theme or the same, with the same related keywords, all related type content. URLs. By the way, guys, you can hire people to do that for you. It's not something I recommend that you do yourself. You've got better things to do with your time than go collect a whole bunch of YouTube URLs. Find somebody on Odesk that's like data entry or something and pay them $3, $4 an hour. Tell them what you're looking for and let them scrape all your URLs for you. Okay. Just to let you know. But what you can do is scrape all your URLs for the videos, and all you need is the video play URL. You can also mix it up by grabbing the short URL, the share URL, or the long URL. Can be either one, but that just gives a little bit more diversity. Put them all into a spreadsheet, spin them together with Spintax, and create a shortcode out of it inside the ATM. Okay, and then from that you can wrap the shortcode in this is what's called the video quick tags, and all it is, and excuse me, that's supposed to be a square bracket. It's just YouTube square bracket, and then you would have your normal short code here. Okay, and then you'd have your double square bracket, and then you'd have your closing tag for YouTube. Okay, and let me spell it correctly. Okay, and that's all you do, guys. You just insert this into your site build before you deploy it, wherever you want the videos to show up. And then what it'll do is it will, and I always put everything in center tags, just so you know. I go over to the source code side of it, and I put everything in center tags so that the videos show up in the middle. But again, that's up to you if you want to do that or not. And then when you deploy the site, this will still show. You'll see this exact same thing that you're seeing right here, right on the middle of the page or wherever it is that you inserted it, until you go in to the dashboard and then install and activate Viper's video tags. And once you activate Viper's video tags, then when you go back and refresh the page, the video will be there instead. Okay, so you can pretty much do unlimited videos, which is great. I mean, I think that was freaking awesome. I was so glad that we found that, that I figured that out the other day. And so it's really simple to set up. I know there's a tag or something, a short code CLG tube that I saw Dawn post in. And, you know, I think you can spin stuff in there too. I don't know if you can put a short code in there yet. I haven't tested that. And I know with this method you can. So I'm just sharing it with you what I did. I found this to be incredibly easy to set up. All right, so let me move on because we got a few minutes left. Last thing is, there's two more I want to talk about. One is called MEX, MEKS Easy Ads Widget. Again, guys, we'll post these all on the events page plus in the video description, so you'll have them. If we come back over here and go to plugins, add new, and I just found this plugin. If I go back to the one that I showed you guys earlier with the tutorials. Look, I just built this site, you know, within the last week in about 17,500 index pages. That's not bad. Okay, so guys, this plugin that we're about to add in just a minute, that's what this is here. That shows these band. Like I had some graphics made to you know, and these are just hosted on S3, the image files, and then they link over to, you know, the different offers that I'm promoting. They're my own offers, but you know what I mean? They're just linking to each one of those links to a different place, a different location, different landing page. And so just to let you know, it's just a really easy, quick, easy plugin to add, and you can add in different banners and things like that. So, and there's also the Easy AdSense plugin already installed, right, by default on this, and you can just use that for like to add in banners. They don't have to be AdSense banners, guys. You just put your HTML code in, and you can put your own banners in there, okay? Or the creatives from our advertisers inside Lead Gadget, right? So you can do whatever you want. You don't have to use AdSense in those AdSense, that Easy AdSense ads widget or plugin. All right, just so you know that. And then we're going to go ahead and activate this, and I'll show you where this is because it's really, really, I mean, it's drop dead simple. They weren't kidding when they said MEX Easy Ads widget. Okay, so go over to Appearance and Widgets. And from here, you'll scroll down, you'll see MEX Ads widget right here. Drag that up, drop that into your sidebar. Then you can, your title, which is what you see right here. I changed that to say get more SEO training here, but you can change it. You know what I'm saying? That's your title there. Ad sizes, then you can, to add new ads, you click the add new button, you put your ad image URL, so that's going to be your S3 link, right? Then you're going to put your ad link URL. Where is the link taking you? That's there. That's your target or your destination URL. If you want to add additional ads, you just click the ad and put as many in as you want. You can have it rotate the ads. You can have it randomize the rotation. You can have number of ads post per view. So for example, if you take a look at this site, have that set to 1. If I wanted to put 2, then it would put 2 right here on top of each other. You know, it'd be 1 here and 1 here. Okay, so just so you know, very simple to set up. The dimensions for this sidebar are 205 by 200. Okay, so you want to go to custom and click input. I'm sorry, 250 by 205. That's what I meant to say. 250 by 205. That is the dimensions of the sidebar widget, or of what you see here. You can use a skyscraper or whatever you want. Okay, I'm just letting you know that as wide as it is 250. Okay, so it's 250 pixels wide. Okay, So anyways, very simple plugin to add, and it makes it very easy to add ads to the site. Okay. Last thing we're going to do is put in the Pretty Link Lite. That's a free plugin that you can use for redirects, and that's what we can use if we go back to the wholesale fashion site. Again, each one of these images are linked with my redirect URL through my affiliate link, and if I click on it right now, it's going nowhere. It's going to give me an error message, a 404 page. Okay. But all I need to do is come back in here and go to plugins, add new. And guys, there's a ton of redirect plugins out there. This one is free. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. The one that I typically use is called All-in-One Redirect. And that's a premium plugin, but you can do the same thing with free plugins, guys. You don't need to get fancy with this. You can at a later date if you want. But I just put Pretty Link Lite in. That's this right here. We're going to install that. Activate. And while that's activating, I'm going to go get my URL for jewelry, which is this. All right, and you'll see it in the sidebar over here. And we'll see pretty links, add new link. You can set groups. So, you know, if you're targeting different offers from different, you know, publishers or advertisers, you can set groups and things like that if you'd like. I'm just going to go ahead and add a new link to make it quick for now, but you guys just play with the plugin if you'd like. Okay, so the target URL, this is where you put that in. I always do 301. It's a permanent URL. So that's my target URL there. And in my pretty link, which is the link that we assign, and remember, if we hover over this, I did this on the build part, right? But it's /by, B-U-I. Okay, so I'm just going to change this to B-U-I. Okay, don't need to do anything else except I would click the no follow this link. However, it doesn't matter if you're doing it like in the images, the way that because I have, if we were to look at the source code here, you'll see that every one of these images are no follow anyways, because I had set it up that way when I did the build. Okay, because you want to no follow, especially when you're linking to the same location, you know, thousands of times from one site. You can hurt the site if you don't no follow it. But again, I no followed that when I coded those images in. So we'll click create. Okay, now that that's done, if I go refresh this page, now we'll hover over this. I click on that, and there we go. So now we've got our affiliate cookie. If we make a sale now, we get credit for it. You see that? And that's going to be the same for every image on the site now. So if I click on that, it will do the same thing, take me right over to my Pizzazz. So it's that simple, guys. You can set it up beforehand. Okay. Now think about that, guys. If you have different, if you do have different offers, right? Let's say you've got other things that you want to promote from your Lead Gadget site that have to do with jewelry, right? So maybe you've got other offers you can promote or Amazon products or whatever. You can set up all your links ahead of time and just make sure you keep them in a spreadsheet, keep track of what your cloaked links are going to be, your redirect links, right? And then you can go in and add your affiliate links once you're done, once you've built the site. Just so you, I don't like to link directly with an affiliate link because then people, if they hover it, they're going to see that, right? So that was pretty much it. I want to take just a couple questions if there are any. I'm sure there's probably a few. Good, there's not many. Okay. Yeah, Gonti, that's fine. He says I meant Lead Gadget sites. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Gonti. Yeah, Lead Gadget sites. I use Lead Gadget sites for lead gen, though, for local businesses, too. So when I said that earlier, like local lead gen, I mean, I still build Lead Gadget sites for that as well. And like Ink Themes has got a good theme for that. And then, like I said, as we get more, as I do more of this CPA and affiliate stuff, I'll tell you if I find other themes as well. Right now, I'm just using everything default because it's easy to get them set up. But I'll probably be changing the ones. Essentially, what I'll do is track analytics. And the sites that really start to produce a lot of traffic, those are the ones that I'll work on increasing conversion rates, okay, by changing themes and that sort of thing. Something else, guys, think about this is remember, you know, I haven't got it set up yet, but like, for example, like on my SEO site, you know, I'm going to have once I start getting some traffic, you know, it's a brand new site, but once I start seeing some traffic volume and things like that, I'm going to put like a pop-up or an exit pop on it so that I can start to grow a list, build an email list. You can do the same thing. I mean, think about if you were to, like with the pizzazz sites, for example, or the drug rehabs, the detox sites, right, guys? You could put, like, for example, an exit pop that prompts an opt-in to get like a PDF guide, a free downloadable PDF guide on how to kick your alcoholism or your drug habit, right? You know, things like that. Like you can go find some PLR books if they're high quality. Try to find some decent PLR books, PDFs, ebooks, things like that that you can use as to entice an opt-in, right? And start building an email list from some of these sites too. Right. For example, the wholesale fashion thing. Again, guys, this site there's no header on this yet. I mean, there's still a lot of things that could be done to this site to clean it up. But why not put an exit pop on it with a free download for a PDF guide on how to create your own fashion jewelry, like homemade jewelry or something like that, and start building an email list. Because even if they don't click through and go buy something from Pizzazz right now, where you get the commission, you could essentially have them on an autoresponder that you could send them your affiliate link to Pizzazz through an autoresponder series, right? They might not buy today, but they might buy next week after they received 2 or 3 emails from you. Or you can send them other offers at that point, right? You can direct them to other places, other affiliate offers, right? So you might as well try to maximize the value of the traffic that comes to these sites. And don't just hit or miss with the offers. I mean, it's great if we can convert the offers on the first attempt. But it's even better if we can build a list out of those visitors. Some of them, not all of them, but you know, some of them will opt in, and then you can continue to promote to them. Okay. Let's see. Andrea says, since I've never hit anything before, do I also need to be hiding domain registration or anything else? Yeah, you should. I mean, I just use private registration. That's typically all I do. That's about the extent of it that I go. I know there's going to be some people in here that probably are going to tell you that they use fake names and everything on the registration, and that's fine if you want to go that route. All I do is just use private registration. That's good enough for me. Okay, so, but yeah, Andrea, I would not just have everything. Just use private domain registration. And as far as I'm concerned, you're going to be good enough. Okay. Ganti says Meeks Easy Ads widget is added after the site is built. So what kind of shortcodes do we need to include for the Meeks Easy Ads widget to work the way we want? Nothing. Because you set the ads after the site is built. You saw that just a minute ago. If we go back in here and go to Appearance and Widgets, the actual widget itself, the plugin actually takes care of the rotation and everything. All it is that's it. And guys, there's other ads widgets or other ads plugins. This is just one that I found very quickly that is serving the purpose that I wanted, and that was to put a sidebar banner ad, which can be skyscraper banners. You know, it doesn't have to be just the square banner. It can be skyscrapers, whatever else. And I can add as many ads as I want. I can add as many widgets as I want. So I could have a widget up here and then a widget down here at the bottom if I wanted with different ads, and it will rotate them out. And that's what I wanted. It's very simple. You don't need anything to set that up. You don't need any short codes to do that, because if we click on this, you'll see all you're adding is the image URL and then the target or destination URL. Okay. Let's see. Donald Hall, can you change out affiliate textual links in the content months from now without bombing the site? Yeah, especially. Great question, Donald, by the way. Especially if you use a redirect plugin, right? Because now, guys, remember, that's what I said. You see how this image right here, it's showing wholesale.fashionbling.us/buy, but it really is my hop link that takes me to the My Pizzazz site, right? That's my affiliate link, okay? But so I'm just redirecting the URL that I set to my affiliate link, which takes me to here, okay? So if let's say that I wanted this image to always link, to this site, or I could even spin links. I don't want to get too far, to confuse you, but let's say I had 10 different offers in the jewelry niche, My Pizzazz being one of them, but I had 9 other offers. Some of them could be Amazon products. Some of them could be to other, whatever. You've got 10 different affiliate links. You could spin them together into a short code and just make sure let's do this. Let me grab this because I don't want this to be confusing. This is wholesale fashionbling.us. Okay. So right now, my affiliate link is this, okay? And all my affiliate link does is redirects to my Pizzazz affiliate link. Let me just grab this, guys. I think this is important. for understanding. So I'm going to take a moment and work this out with you guys so you can see what you can do here. Because by using a redirect plugin like PrettyLink or any other redirect plugins that you want, you could essentially, I could have this one redirect to this ad or to this offer. I could do this one and have it redirect to another one. Let's say offer 2 or affiliate link 2. Do it again. Have this one go to affiliate link 3. Right? And then I could spin them together if I wanted them to be spin, which would give more randomness on the page, right? Or I could, they could each be, this image I could always link to one and whatever. There's, let your imagination go wild. But the point is that I could have, this would be buy, like, let's just say this is buy 2, this is buy 3. Does that make sense? So now I have this set up in the actual PrettyLink section of the plugin here. Okay, so if I go take a look at my PrettyLinks, come on. When you see on the dashboard here, you can edit the PrettyLink later. Okay, so you can change whatever the destination URL is that it's pointing to. You can change that at any time. So that's why I think this is way a much smarter way to do it, because now if you have, like, let's say the offer changes or you want to switch them to another offer, you want to redirect them to somewhere else, whatever, all you need to do is go in and actually edit the redirect. And here it is. Let's take a look. Let me get this out of the way. But you see right here, this is the wholesale fashion bling.us buy. If I come in here and I click edit, hopefully it won't take 10 minutes to load like it just did a second ago. Okay, see, all I got to do is swap this link out right here. And the slug, the permalink, is going to stay the same unless I edit it. Okay, so I can swap the destination URL out as much or as often as I want. Okay, I hope that makes sense. We're a little bit over, so I believe with PrettyLinks you can change out the destination URL. Yes, Andrea. That's what we just went over. So yes, Donald Hall says, can you add social media accounts to the ATM site widget area? Sure you can. Of course you can. Why couldn't you? You absolutely can. Will there be a Piwik tutorial? I think there is one, isn't there? I believe there is one in the ATM. If there's not, I know that there's Piwik tutorials for SERPShaker. So, and it would be one and the same pretty much, because it's just a matter of adding the code. I'm not a Piwik user. If I have to learn it just to show you guys how to do it, I guess I could. But I'm sure if you go to YouTube and put in, Piwik setup, Piwik tutorial, that you can get all the training that you need on how to set up Piwik. All right. Donald says, is it strategically better to create multiple sites per niche right away or wait for the first one the site to perform? No, build, Donald, build. Don't wait, build. Okay, because if you build 15 sites or 12 sites, whatever, some of them are going to perform well, some are going to not. So instead of waiting to see if one performs or not, what happens if it doesn't? Now you've got wasted time. Just keep building, buddy. That's the best thing to do. And hopefully you'll get lucky and, you build 12 sites and 8 of them rank. And now you own the first page for, multiple phrases across the country or whatever it is that you're doing. Who makes my ads? $20banners.com. 20, the number 20, dollar banners spelled out. $banners.com. This guy's in Australia. His name, if I could spell when I can't ever type and talk at the same time ever. This guy's in Australia. His name is Tuan, Tuan, and he does outstanding work. Okay, tell him I sent you. I don't buy a whole lot of ads because I haven't been doing a whole lot of affiliate stuff. But when I do need banners, this is who I get to do it. Although I know there's a lady in our group named Elizabeth, who I know she does header banners. Elizabeth, she might do ad banners too. I haven't asked her about that. I know she does headers, but I don't know if she does banners. And guys, if we can keep it in the family, I'm just letting you know. You asked. This is who I've been using. I've used for a couple years now. Okay. Gandhi, I'm still not clear how to position the ad in the content without indicating the position by a short code in the content prior to the build. Okay, I thought you were asking, Gandhi, about the side widget area. Maybe I need to watch the webinar and try my hand at building a test site. Yeah, Gonti, if you haven't built the test site yet, buddy, then these questions are pretty much irrelevant. You know what I mean? Yeah, what I do is, like, here, I'll show you. I think I've got it still open. No, I don't. Let me go ahead and grab a piece of content. And Gonti, if you haven't watched the 2 site build playlists that I've added to the YouTube channel, and they're in the Facebook group too, then go back and watch them, because you'll see exactly how I build a site. Okay. And yeah, you can code in the ads, and like, for example, if we go back and take a look at this one, you can see I have, this is called a leaderboard banner, 728 by 90. And I've got that coded in. It's random. So I've got 4 versions of it, just like I have 4 versions of this. So if we go take a look at another one of the pages, you'll see that it's likely to have changed. Okay, yeah, see, this time it's saying the YouTube Silo Academy. So all that you do is when you create your content inside of the ATM, let's go here. Let's go to the ATM. We'll go to content. See if I don't think I have anything that, yeah, I don't have any recent content in here because I've built all my sites that had pending content, but I'll show you what it looks like. Let's look at SEO Nation. This is the one that I just built a couple days ago. Wait a minute, that's not it. Which one is it? This one. I just built this one yesterday. Yeah, actually last night. I was up until 1:30 in the morning building this site. Come on, why is this thing not moving? Oh, because I've got a super spun article on this document, and it doesn't like it because it's got so much damn data in here. It's like being slow. But take a look at this. This is what I do. I always build a notepad file that I use as a template for the page. And I start with my pack list, and you guys, I went through this last week too, so I'm not going to go over this too much more. We're already 10 minutes over. I'll stay for a few more minutes, but I've got everything here laid out for the site that I just built last night, so that all I need to do is, in case there's ever an issue with the site and I need to bomb it, or it gets de-indexed, or it loses indexing, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be de-indexed. Or if I just want to build 5 sites on different domains or different subdomains with all the same content, I have it right here. Now it's copy and paste. I can literally deploy an entire site in under 10 minutes because I have the whole entire site structure built right here. All my spinning, everything. You can see this is the I've got my random image code here. I created short codes and everything else. I've got this is my content title inside the ATM. When you go to build your content, this is laid out exactly as the fields that you fill out. So there's my meta, there's my tags. You'll see I didn't put categories down here because it's just a short code. And then here's my main body. And you can see that I've got, and right here, you see this right here? This right here is the code for that leaderboard banner that you just saw. In fact, we'll just go take a look at that site real quick. Did I misspell it again? Yes, I did. Check out that domain, sexyseo.co. That's freaking awesome. Anyways, this is that banner ad right there. So what you're seeing right here on this notepad file is coded right here into my content. You see that? And it's spun too. So there's 4 banners, right? There's 4 leaderboard banners there. So each time it goes to a different location, or each time I refresh the page, it'll show up with a different banner, most likely. You know what I mean? And then the same thing. This is just an image, but this is also spun. So what I did was I got like 90 some SEO blog URLs, and I spun those together in a short code. And so that's what you see right here. So if I click on this, it's going to actually take me to searchenginejournal.com. If I go to another page on the site or another post on the site, you'll see that now that image is over here, because there's when you build an image inside of Lead Gadget, you can choose to align left or align right. When you look at the source code, it's going to say float left or float right, depending. So why not put a spin tag there and put left and right, but spin them, you know? So you got your bracket, you've got left, pipe symbol, right, end bracket. So now each time the page loads, it's either going to be on the left or on the right, right? So that just gives it more uniqueness, right? There's also borders. Damn, apparently that sucks because that one's an image that's not working. But there's also borders. You can set border width. So you can do set 0, and then you can set spin tags for like 1 pixel border, 2 pixel border, 3 pixel border, so that each time the image loads on the page, it'll have a different width border, right? Just gives it more uniqueness. Does that make sense? Okay. So Gonti, yeah, just if you haven't built a site yet, man, get in there and play with it. Start playing around with adding content. Don't be scared of it. I was too when I first started with it, but honestly, it's just like any other WordPress editor. And if you make a mistake and you try to deploy a site, it doesn't come out the way you want it. You hit the bomb button, and it's gone just like that, and you can rebuild it again. Okay. All right, we're going to take just a couple more. He said he did watch everything. Okay, well then you should have seen that how I built these right ends. So just watch it again if you need to, Gonti. I hope that makes sense. So last two questions. Donald says, what strategies do you use for statewide lead gen sites, and how do you charge? We would probably have to tackle that on another webinar. But what I do for statewide sites is I create counties for categories. So like, for example, if we go back and we take a look at this site, you can see this is a nationwide site, and it says Kentucky, right? And then because remember, my permalinks are set up as category / post name. And this one is in Kentucky. However, for just a statewide site, I put the state name as the subdomain, and I build them on subdomains. So for example, this would be kentucky.sexyseo.co. And then I would have as my category would be the county. And in the city, the post level would be beyond that. Does that make sense? And that's about as close as I can get to siloing with Lead Gadget right now until Dawn finishes, coding that in. But that's what I do. That's my method, as I always do it by county. Let's see. How do I charge? That depends. It's variable. Whether sometimes it's pay per lead or pay per call. Other times it's just a flat rental fee. Other time, it really just depends on what the arrangement is. I do a lot of my own lead gen stuff, so where I own the assets and I just sell the leads. I've got some people I do revenue share with, where I just get a percentage of closed sales from leads that go to them. That's my preferred method, but you have to have a pretty good relationship with your service provider for you to be able to trust them to do that. But there's a lot of different ways to monetize this, Donald. How would you handle spun outbound authority links for the ATM content? Well, that's what I did here. So essentially these images right here, I created a short code inside the ATM with like 95 different SEO blog URLs. And if you take a look, let's see if we can blow this up a little bit. Actually, right here at the top, see how it says random image code? This is the HTML code for these random images throughout my content. Okay, you'll see that the Ahref equals, so this is the target URL, and I've got a short code that I created called SEO blog URLs. It's like 95 different authority SEO blogs URLs that I just spun together and created a short code. So each time the image was created when the site was built, it would just grab one at random of those 95 URLs. Then I have rel equals no follow. You should always do that. Target equals blank. You should always do that if you're linking off site. So it opens in a new window, and then image alt equals, and you can see that I just spun my, this is my alt text. So I just created alt text that was spun together, created a short code out of my alt text, which are just the keywords from when I did my keyword research. Very similar to what you see right here as my tags. So I created a short code for alt text so that it varies at random on every image. And in my source, which is my image source URLs, I spun those together as well. I scraped, I don't know, 35 or 40 of these images, all the same dimension. From Google Images, and I uploaded them to Amazon S3, and I created a short code of my S3 bucket or my S3 URLs and created that there. So this is it. And then guys, you see how it says margin? I didn't put a border on here. I should have, but you see right here where it says float, and then it says left or right. I spun that so that it's either going to be left or it's going to be right. So like if I click on this one, you'll see it's likely to change. Okay, it's over here it's still on this side. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, right? But if I click on this one, remember the last one went to Search Engine Journal. This one goes to SitePoint. Okay, so it's random every time. All right, and again, that was in that SEO playlist site build that I posted in the group. It's also on the YouTube channel, guys. If you go click on that, you'll find the site build. You'll see how I did all of that. Okay, Tony says thank you. Gonti says thank you. Yeah, guys, you're welcome. We're gonna wrap it up, and we will see you guys next Thursday. By the way, next Thursday is going to be 7:30 a.m. instead of p.m. at Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So we're gonna do it 12 hours earlier, so that those of you that are in different time zones and stuff will still have the ability to see it. So we'll see you guys next week, and I'll try to get some of your questions answered about the paper call stuff as well throughout the next week. Thanks, guys. See you.